So we've created a surface inside the Trimble Business Centre here, just using the standard surface creation tool. So we've just gone into create surface. One of the issues that you get here is where you've got where our normals are based on gravity, and we get this horrible spiking where we've actually got points that are essentially they're undercutting each other. So when we've got these types of surfaces, it's nice to actually be able to change the normal. Sorry about that. So when we've got these types of surfaces, it's nice to be able to change the normal direction. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this surface, just delete it altogether out of the model. I will go into the point clouds, and I'm just going to actually put the point clouds a little bit bigger, and I'll just change them to a standard color to make it easier to see what's going on. And what I'm going to do here is there looks broadly to be almost two different sides to this wall. So I'm just going to go into the segmentation tool. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into polygon select by choosing it down the bottom there. And I'm just going to do a little section here just to show the principles of it. So I'm going to cut this wall essentially in two. And I'm just going to go to point clouds, and I will choose create region, and I'll just call this wall 1 or whatever. And then under my view filter manager, I can go into the scans point cloud regions, and I'll turn off the rest of the point cloud. So rather than creating the surface from above, we can orient the surface the way we want the normals to be created. So you can see I'm just lining it roughly to the screen position here. There are other choices, and I can choose create projected surface. I'll just call this projected, and I can choose which points are in the surface, which are these point cloud points. And then plane, I can create a new plane, and I can choose to do it parallel to the active view, and then I can choose a location. I can preview that so we can see that roughly that's the plane that's going to be used. So it's called plane 2, and I can just close that. We're going to align the surface to plane 2 and create that surface. And we should see that it's a much more normal looking surface. So if I was to go back and just cancel out the surface creation at the moment, we've now got the surface created. If I was to go back to my scans once again, so we go to surface, and we'll turn the default scans back on. And if I was now doing the other side of the wall, now we could actually include the same points in the scans, so we actually get slightly overlapping surfaces. We could do that if we wanted to. And then I can just go into, so we'll segment that first of all. So I'll just call that creation region, and I'll call this one back wall. And then what we can do is turn the rest of the point cloud off again. And then if I was now to do the same, what I was doing before, so I'm going to align the point cloud, I can go back to my surfaces, and I can create surface, create projected surface. I'll give this a name. And we want to deselect the existing surface. So we just have, and then I'm going to create a new plane. I can give it a sensible name if I want, so I can say back wall. And of course we've got these other settings, but if I can just do once again, use the active view, just so that you can see here it's aligning it to the wall roughly. And then it's called back wall, and hit apply. So essentially now we've got two surfaces. They won't quite meet because we don't have any shared points, but they look like two reasonable surface, much nicer than the types of surfaces that we were creating before. So that's just a quick overview on how to create projected surfaces.